I am 79 years old, and I buried my son last Tuesday. I'm about to tell you something that might break your heart, but you need to hear it. Everything you think you know about grief, about fatherhood, about the things that matter between parents and children, it's wrong. And the worst part is, nobody tells you the truth until it's too late. You see, I spent 53 years being a father. I thought I understood what that meant. I thought I had time to say the things I needed to say and do the things I needed to do. But last Tuesday, I stood over my boy's grave and I realized I had been lying to myself for decades. And here's the part that haunts me. 3 days after the funeral, I found something in his desk. An envelope with my name on it in his handwriting. What was inside that letter changed everything I thought I knew about being a father, and everything I thought I knew about my son. But before I tell you what he wrote, I need you to understand something. I am not making this video to process my grief or to get sympathy. I am making this because I am running out of time, and there are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. Let me tell you what nobody prepares you for. The physical reality of losing your child. I cannot sleep in my own house anymore. I walk past his old bedroom and the door is still closed, exactly how he left it the last time he visited. His coffee mug is still in my cabinet. His jacket is still hanging by the back door. And every single morning for the past 7 days, I wake up and for about 3 seconds, I forget. Then I remember. And it hits me all over again, like the first time. You know what is strange? There is no word for what I am. When your spouse dies, you are a widow or a widower. When your parents die, you are an orphan. But when your child dies, there is no word for it. You know why. Because it is not supposed to happen. The natural order of things says, parents go first. Children bury their parents, not the other way around. My son was 53 years old. 53. He had a career and a family and a whole life ahead of him. Then 6 months ago, he got a diagnosis that changed everything. And I watched him fade. I watched my boy, the same boy I taught to ride a bicycle, the same boy I walked to his first day of school. I watched him become a shadow of himself. And here is what keeps me awake at night. All those years, I thought we had time. I thought there would be more fishing trips, more Sunday dinners, more conversations about life. I kept saying next month or next summer or when things slow down. Things never slow down. And now I have nothing but time and no one to spend it with. I have been a father for 53 years. Last Tuesday, that stopped. And I was drowning in that grief, barely able to function, when I found myself in his apartment, helping his wife sort through his things. That is when I found it, in the bottom drawer of his desk. An envelope with my name on it, written in his handwriting. And what was inside that envelope shattered me and saved me at the same time. I sat in his old office chair and I held that envelope for almost an hour before I could open it. My hands were shaking. You want to know the truth? I was terrified of what was inside. Because I knew all the ways I had failed him. I knew about the baseball games I missed because of work. I knew about the times I was too hard on him when he needed softness. I knew about the years we barely spoke because I was too stubborn to pick up the phone first. I expected that letter to be a list of all my failures, a final accounting of every way I had let him down. I expected accusations, disappointments, the truth about what kind of father I really was. But that is not what he wrote. He wrote about a fishing trip when he was 11 years old. We got rained out and had to sit in the truck for 3 hours, waiting for the storm to pass. I barely remembered it. To me, it was a ruined day. But he wrote that it was one of his favourite memories. He said that was the day he learned that time with me mattered more than catching fish. He wrote about the night before his wedding, when I took him out for a beer. I remember being awkward, not knowing what to say, feeling like I was failing some kind of fatherhood test. But he wrote that my awkward silence meant more than any speech. He said he could tell I was proud of him, even though I could not find the words. He wrote about the diagnosis. He knew he was dying when he wrote this letter. He had time to think about what mattered. And what mattered to him were the moments I thought I had ruined. Then came the line that broke me completely. He wrote, "Dad, I know you never forgave yourself for not being there when Mom died. I forgive you. I always did." I never knew he carried that. I never knew he saw how much guilt I held. And he forgave me anyway. The letter ended with a request. He wrote, "Dad, do not let my death be the end of your story. Let it be a beginning. Promise me you will not waste whatever time you have left carrying regret. Promise me you will say the things you need to say to the people you love." That letter broke me open, but it also taught me something I wish I had learned 50 years ago. Here is what my son's death taught me about the lies we tell ourselves. We say there is always tomorrow. We say they know how I feel. We say when things calm down I will make time. We say I will call them next week. Let me tell you something from the other side of loss. Tomorrow is a lie we tell ourselves to avoid the discomfort of today. They do not know how you feel unless you tell them. Things never calm down. Next week becomes next month, becomes next year, becomes never. I want to ask you something, and I want you to answer honestly. When was the last time you told your parents you loved them? Not a text message, not a quick love you at the end of a phone call. When did you last look them in the eyes and tell them what they mean to you? When was the last time you told your children that you are proud of them? That they turned out better than you ever hoped? That being their parent has been the privilege of your life? My son wrote me a letter. He sat down knowing he was dying, and he wrote down all the things he wanted me to know. And I never wrote him one. I never sat down and put into words what he meant to me. And now I cannot. That chance is gone forever. That is what haunts me. Not the missed baseball games, not the arguments, not the years of stubborn silence. What haunts me is that he died knowing he was loved, but never having proof in my handwriting. Your legacy is not your career. It is not your bank account. It is not the house you leave behind or the things you accumulated. Your legacy is the words you leave with the people who matter, the conversations you had, the love you expressed, the forgiveness you offered. Some of you watching this right now have a phone call you need to make. There is someone in your life you have not spoken to in months or years. There is a relationship that needs healing. There is a conversation you keep avoiding because it is uncomfortable. I am telling you from the deepest place of grief a human being can experience. Make the call. Write the letter. Say the words. Do it today. Do it right now. Because I promise you, tomorrow is not guaranteed. You think you have time. You do not. Nobody does. That letter from my son is now my most treasured possession. I keep it in my nightstand and I read it every morning. And I have started writing letters of my own. to my daughter, to my grandchildren, to old friends I lost touch with. I am not waiting anymore. I am 79 years old. I have maybe a few years left if I am lucky, and I am not going to waste them carrying words I should have spoken. If this reached you today, I am asking you to do something. Share this with someone who needs to hear it. Leave a comment telling me who you are going to call, and then actually call them. My son asked me to let his death be a beginning, not an end. This is me keeping that promise. I am 79. I am broken, but I am not finished, and neither are you.